highway through these trees.
These are all post oaks. They're beautiful.
Post oaks straight up. You see that gap? Even though you can see there, it's just enough.
He still loves ours.
I like this healing paint and stuff on this.
And how long ago? That was almost 3 years ago?
Oh, yeah, it was. It was. This house has definitely been gnawing at me for quite some time. We have our first.
Oh yeah, look at that. This is salvia they're all coming up in?
Yeah, salvia's thick actually in some spots, but you can see that is a thick, mature.
That's a heavy, yeah, it's a big bulb down there.
Big guy.
Here's our first specimen mixed in with salvia. But there should be, I mean, this isn't even full bloom yet, is it?
No. We just had a rain last week. First real good rains of probably in about 2 months. And has shooting up a few like this here and there.
Okay.
In town too. There's a few here and here, but certainly not the whole show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch out for snakes and.
Yeah. Good thing you got those boots. And I know for certain the whole show's not up because actually around almost every one of these trees are Oxblood. You can see them up there.
There used to be a really thick row of them here. What happened?
Well, basically the thickness, and you can see where the grass line stops. Pretty much where the Oxblood come up to, and you can see they're just having all bloom.
Oh yeah.
There without in bloom. You can see the foliage.
I'm really surprised it didn't bloom. They're getting too shady, aren't they?
A little bit, probably, you know, and
because normally they're like a thick row.
this was all solid.
Yeah.
Back when we saw them first, and this goes all into the bamboo, all the way back to the fence line. You can see the one back there, but they're pretty much solid. They're back here.
Okay.
Again, these aren't in full show. We have pictures of these somewhere in your archive.
I know. I've still got all those pictures.
Let's look at these.
All right. The oil well's new.
Yeah, that is new. Actually, that's how I scouted. I was able to go down that.
And so,
right on the other side, there's another little treasure.
Oh, really?
It's not in full show either, but we'll show you the potential of it. You can see there are 3 rows back here. You can see the general outline. One that's right up next to the fence line.
Oh yeah. You can see them.
Look at this. Look, they're pushed out of the ground.
Oh my goodness.
Just coming up right out of the ground, and someone amended this soil too, because it's actually pretty loose and sandy. But
Nice. Yeah, they need to be separated, don't they?
oh yeah, and this is thick. I mean, that's a brick of bulbs, and it's the nature of these bulbs. They like to travel.
Yep.
See there. But the next patch back here.
I was fortunate enough to have several companions helping me dig the flower bulbs that afternoon, and we worked for a few hours as it got cool into the evening, and then the next morning I woke up and went back out there and worked a few more before I had to leave for the Gulf Coast in Rockport for a few days. I was really amazed at all the development going on, and I'm going to mention some of that coming up here in the video. But the bulbs were not all blooming, which was fine. It's understandable. Normally they bloom around the middle of September, but I guess it had been so dry, and with the rains, a lot of them had decided to come up and bloom. So, again, dug the rest of the bulbs, patched in the holes, left some bulbs for the homeowner, and we're going to ship them up to him, or he's going to send some family members to the house to pick them up. And then I went down to Rockport for a few days, and now I'm at the Quacks Cafe in Austin, uploading this video for anybody who might be watching or listening. And Quacks Cafe is a great little coffee shop here in Austin.
But when you get further out from it, it turns into the normal, darker, blacker, clay-rich stuff that we find here
Okay.
College Station.
Around College, we're used to digging in.
Yeah.
Now this is all new behind you, man. This is amazing.
This is brand new. This is
brand new
pretty much
fence.
but I would say
Brand new wheels?
About, I want to say it was 6 months ago to a year that they started working on this.
Really? You can even see the highway over there.
Yeah, and just the other side of that, they're preparing
you know,
pads for businesses.
No way.
Yeah, all along that side of the highway. And now they're starting to encroach down on the green.
Are you serious?
They're starting to, you see,
pumping units.
you've seen some development further that way, and then there's some signs of that some of that property that's out there next to the green is for sale.
Tiny.
Well, I never thought I would see the highway from this piece of property. I never thought I'd see the construction pads. I never thought I'd see this right here. So this fence right here in this Oxblood, so this is where the construction stops and the bulbs begin. So this is sort of the frontier of rescuing bulbs.
This is, absolutely. Heck, if they had put this fence in a foot this way,
yep,
they'd have plowed over quite a bit.
Popping a clump up so I don't have to actually slice any bulbs and coming from the side. Fine if I, pop the whole clump up. I can usually reach down there, grab a handful of bulbs, bloom size, and some are a little bit smaller. So, and then sometimes you get the whole clump. That's how they propagate. Way to go.
Big one in the middle here. More than likely, the papa and mama for all these rest. If you can get underneath, pull them up together, preserves them before we replant them if we can keep them together. They don't start drying out. They grow friends.
All right. Well, it looks like dirt from the surface. You turn it over and you see the roots. You shake it a little bit more. It's like shaking a sugar tree. Out comes your little friends, these little black bulbs. So this little clump right here has quite a few. Now these aren't as far along as one of these specimens, so let's see what's underneath this beautiful flower right here. You can tell it's a really strong flower. There's several of them. I'm going to move a few inches away from the clump just so I don't slice the bulb open. And underneath the ground, it's a beautiful bulb. So we have a home right there behind the post oaks. You can see some interesting pine trees that are planted. And somebody who lived here long ago, about 60 years ago, planted some of these Oxblood lilies. The neat thing about the Oxblood lilies is that you'll find them all along the old German and Czech communities in central Texas, where people pass them just from family to family as gifts and to friends and as part of garden clubs. These bulbs have proven that they can adapt and multiply in some of the harshest conditions, because we all know how hot and dry it was. But we had a rain about a week ago, and it's coaxed a lot of these bulbs into blooming. So this is the Oxblood lily, and you can see how tall it is. You can see how one turned into these little bulbs. And I probably left about 12 bulbs over there where this was dug. So they really propagate fast. A German plantsman in the 1890s, a gentleman by the name of Henry Oberwetter, brought them into New Braunfels from Argentina. So around 1890, 1900, he introduced these, and they've proven to be one of the best flower bulbs that we have for Texas, and they happen to be a neat fall bloomer. You can see how they send up their bloom stalk first, and what comes later is this foliage that looks a lot like liriope. It'll get a lot taller, and it'll grow up and split to the side, so it's almost like a fountain of a really light green, narrow-leaved foliage out of these little black bulbs. And this is a nice clump, and I bet you this is going to have, in fact I know it is, there's a whole other bloom coming here. So we know that after these, do their show and they're done in about a week, about that time this one's going to be opening up, and when you have an established clump, another one's going to come up probably. So there's actually going to be 2 to 3 weeks of blooms, if not longer, depending on the rains.